watching Thrifty Kaniffy. Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today we're going to be looking at a modern knife from Real Steel. Modern slip joint design. This is the denim Solis. Model number 7065DM. It's got the denim micarta handles on it and the N690 Bohler steel blades. Kind of a cool box design. You get the sort of the grind look on it. Inside the box you get these materials. There's a nice cleaning cloth there with their logo. Very good feel to that. Looks like that would do a really good job. Some foam, and then this little cutout here to keep the knife from flopping around. Little spec sheet. We'll take a quick look at that, and then like a maintenance guide. So blade length 74 millimeters, 2.91 inches. So going to be under that 3-inch mark that you need for the UK, just slightly. And then open length of 169 millimeters, closed length 95 millimeters. That equates to 6.65 inches and 3.75. Let's call it close. I actually measure it to be a little larger than that, as we'll see in a moment. But 2.08 ounces. Got the Bohler N690 blade with satin finish. This one is actually denim micarta, so you can ignore that. And it is got a nail neck with slip joint. Actually, it's a long pull. And our designer here is Jacob Wazorkowitz, better known as Poltergeist. But here's your QR code if you want to learn more from Real Steel. You can scan that and go to their website at realsteel.com. Now, the knife we're looking at today is a $63 knife. They offer a more affordable version with D2 and blades and G10 handles for $42, or a more expensive model with N690 like this one, but with titanium handles. They also have other exclusive versions that are out there. They're more than I can find, actually. There's probably more than I'd have time to list, but they do make this in a lot of different offerings. So make sure that if you're in the UK especially, you go and check out Knives and Tools. They have some exclusive ones and other places as well. Now, what's the things I like about this knife? I like the size of it. Again, I think it's about a 3 7/8 inch length, a little longer than what they're saying in the specs. You've got a clip there, a pocket clip, and if you want to remove that, you're going to have to get into the interior of the scale, so you'll have to disassemble at least one side here to get that off, and then it'll probably leave a hole there. It is not ambidextrous. You don't even have an option to put it on the other side, so you are stuck with it in that position. So a couple of little downsides to me. I would have liked to seen that be a little easier to deal with. Then you have that lanyard hole. I've never been a big fan of when they put the lanyard hole on the top, not on the end. Kind of gets in the way of your grip, I think, whenever the knot kind of comes up this way. So you have to use some thinner material so it doesn't kind of bind there. But it does have a little bit of a recessed area at the top, so that it gives you a little narrow area to work with there. But overall, I'm just not a huge fan of when they do the lanyard hole in that position. But I probably would just not even use it and just stick with the pocket clip on this particular knife. But very nice micarta, very good quality on this. Sort of a grayish blue denim color. Got a lot of texture to it, so it gives you good grip. This is the type of micarta that I like to see, especially on modern knives. And you can see there's a lot of this beveling on the edges of the handle. I think that's always been something that I've liked about the Real Steel knives. They just do a really smart job of where they put those bevels in it. It just conforms to your hand quite a bit better. But it has a really nice back spring there. Again, you can see this is linerless. Just the scales acting as the liners. Pretty narrow. You're looking at right over maybe about just over a 1/4 inch. So yeah, it'd be about what would that be? About 4/8 would be half, so 2/8 to about 3/8, I'd say. Not a 3/8 inch width. So let's take a look at the blade. You kind of got like a sheepsfoot style blade here. And then again, that long nail pull or long nail neck or nail pull or just pull, whatever you want to call it. Going the length of the top edge of the blade there. I think that's pretty attractive. And pretty much like a sheepsfoot blade, right? Gets a little narrower as you go down to the tip. Nice roll off there. Maybe some will call this more of a Warncliffe. I don't know. I think it's pretty close to the sheepsfoot. But you do have just a touch of rock on the belly there. It does kind of go up slightly about here. So you will have, you know, the ability to kind of make roll cuts, things like that. Nice clean tip on there. So it's just a really well designed modern style blade. I like the blade grind. I like the satin finish on there. It looks really nice. They've done a fantastic job on the blade edge on both sides. This thing is razor sharp, as you might expect from a modern knife. Nice clean hardware on this. You can see nothing fancy or anything embellished on there. And then you got the two T6 handle screws. And then on the side you got the same. And then a T10 pivot screw. So I'm believing this is locked in place, making this a pretty easy disassembly should you need to clean it or do some maintenance on it. But yeah, really nice lock up on the, I guess you call it a 2/3 stop that Real Steel is known for, and then a good authoritative lock up in the open position, and then back to that 1/3, 2/3 spot, and good snap on the close there. So it's a little bit firm for a modern slip joint. I think this pulls probably about a 7, which is more than I'm used to seeing on most knives in this style. So that's cool that it does such a good job on the pull there. Really like that. Appreciate a good strong pull on a knife. But we'll measure the blade, and we'll not just take the word of the specs. And you can see on the top edge, it's just shy of 3 inches, about 2 7/8 inches. And then if you actually go up to the very edge on this bottom part, you do go over 3 inches. So I guess in some cases you could actually get a measurement over 3 inches. Again, your local authorities, what are they going to stop the measure? Should they stop it there? Should they stop it there? I don't know. But it does leave a little bit of doubt, so just be aware of that. Then you got a cutting edge of about 2 3/4 inches. This thing is a finger prick magnet, even though it is a satin finish. But, you know, good close on that. Now, my one other little minor gripe with the knife, I feel like it's very uncomfortable in the hand. Again, with those beveling on the handle, the clip does not interfere with my hand in that position when I'm left-handed gripping. In the right hand, it really does pretty much fold underneath that little gap in your hand, so you're fine there. It doesn't really interfere at all on that side either, so it's a really good style of clip. You can see it's pretty low profile, doesn't really poke up much, and it's got a nice smooth end here, which doesn't poke in your hand, which I think is vitally important when you have one of these like deep pocket carry style clips that comes all the way up to the end of the handle. You don't want that to kind of have a 90-degree angle there that is beveled on that corner there, providing you with a lot of comfort. So important design cue that they caught, and I really do appreciate that. Even with that pinky finger, when you squeeze down, you don't really have any hot spots there. But my one complaint would be I would love to see a little bit of jimping here at the top of the blade. I just feel like if you're doing a puncture cut, that could slide forward and potentially cut you there. It is rather smooth on bottom and top here, so there's not a lot of ramping there to kind of prevent your forefinger from going forward, and nothing on your thumb here to prevent it from going forward. So maybe just a bit more jimping on the top of the blade would prevent that and give me a little more confidence using this hard use. But as it is, it's not massively bad. And again, if you're only probably going to have to worry about that if you're a little bit fearful of losing your grip, doing some sort of cut where it would force the knife down into your hand. But overall, I think it's a good design. I think that Jacob always does a really good work on his knives. If we look here, you can see he's got his little logo there, his little mark, and then you can see the N690 on the blade there to indicate the blade material. So not a lot of billboarding there, but there is some. And then on this side, you got Real Steel. Pretty light. Nothing that really bugs me. So they haven't gone too crazy with the billboarding. I don't think Real Steel really ever does get too crazy with their billboarding on the blades. So kudos to them for that. But I think overall, a pretty solid knife. Pretty happy with the blade shape and the pull on it and the length. You know, I think it's a good EDC carry size. That clip is really nice. They've done a smart job with the clip on it. Is it my favorite modern slip joint? Probably not, but it's pretty solid. I mean, it's got a lot of positives going for it. Again, I think I'd probably use it without a lanyard and just use the clip. I think the clip is pretty good as clips go, so just stick with that. It's pretty comfortable. It doesn't really interfere. So yeah, but that's going to do it for my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Again, the Real Steel Solis denim micarta. Its model number is again 7065DM. It cost $63. Got the N690 blade steel and the denim micarta handles. But that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. We'll see you next time. Take care.